emergency situations, a licensed electrical contractor has specific rights and responsibilities, particularly when dealing with potential fire hazards related to electrical services. When encountering a smoking riser and service conductors, disconnecting power is a reasonable action to protect life and property. The National Electrical Code, specifically Article 250.66, addresses situations where a qualified person may disconnect power under certain emergency conditions. This article acknowledges the need for swift action to mitigate immediate dangers. When questioned by a utility worker about your authority, there are several key points to emphasize. Firstly, clearly explain the imminent danger. Describe the smoking riser and conductors and how they presented a significant risk of fire. Emphasize that the potential consequences of not acting would have been far greater. Secondly, assert your authority as a licensed electrical contractor. State that your license grants you the responsibility and authority to take reasonable measures to protect life and property in emergency situations. This includes disconnecting power when a clear and present danger exists. Thirdly, offer cooperation with the utility company. Express your willingness to coordinate with them to ensure proper reconnection and to implement any necessary safety measures. This demonstrates a commitment to working together to resolve the issue safely and efficiently. It is also important to prioritize safety above all else. Explain that the safety of the occupants and the property was the paramount concern. Any disconnect was solely done to mitigate an immediate hazard. Provide evidence of the dangerous condition. Offer to show the utility worker the smoking riser and conductors as proof of the dangerous condition. Visual evidence can help them understand the severity of the situation. Consider seeking support from code enforcement. If necessary, contact the local electrical inspector or code enforcement officer to corroborate your actions. Their support can provide further validation of your decision-making. Remember to also consider the utility's perspective. Understand that they have an interest in maintaining their power supply. Explain that in this particular case, the risk to life and property outweighed any potential disruption to their service. To further clarify the situation and ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code, it is helpful to delve deeper into specific code articles and accepted industry practices. Regarding grounding and bonding, which are critical for electrical safety, refer to NEC Article 250. This article provides comprehensive requirements for grounding and bonding electrical systems to minimize the risk of electrical shock and fire. When dealing with service conductors, it is essential to ensure that they are properly sized and protected. Refer to NEC Article 230 for requirements related to service conductors and equipment. This article covers everything from the size and type of conductors to the overcurrent protection requirements. Overcurrent protection, such as fuses and circuit breakers, is designed to protect electrical systems from overloads and short circuits. NEC Article 240 provides detailed requirements for overcurrent protection devices. Make sure that the service conductors are properly protected by appropriately sized overcurrent devices. In emergency situations, clear communication is crucial. When interacting with utility workers, remain calm and professional. Clearly explain the situation, the actions you took, and the reasons behind those actions. Providing documentation, such as photographs or videos of the dangerous condition, can be helpful in supporting your explanation. If there are any discrepancies or disagreements, it is important to remain respectful and to seek clarification from the appropriate authorities, such as the local electrical inspector or code enforcement officer. Remember that electrical safety is a shared responsibility. Electrical contractors, utility workers, and code enforcement officials all play a vital role in ensuring the safety of electrical systems. By working together and communicating effectively, we can minimize the risk of electrical hazards and protect life and property. In addition to the specific code articles mentioned earlier, there are other relevant sections of the National Electrical Code that may apply in emergency situations involving electrical services. NEC Article 310 addresses conductors for general wiring. This article provides requirements for conductor types, sizes, and ampacities. Ensure that all conductors are properly sized and rated for the intended application. NEC Article 314 covers outlet boxes, conduit bodies, and fittings. This article provides requirements for the installation and support of these components. Make sure that all boxes, conduit bodies, and fittings are properly installed and secured. NEC Article 408 addresses switchboards and panel boards. These are important components of electrical distribution systems. Ensure that switchboards and panel boards are properly installed, labeled, and maintained. In emergency situations, it is important to follow lockout/tagout procedures to de-energize electrical circuits safely. Lockout/tagout procedures involve disconnecting the power supply and placing a lock and tag on the disconnect switch to prevent accidental re-energization. NFPA 70E, Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, provides guidance on lockout/tagout procedures and other electrical safety practices. When dealing with overhead service conductors, maintain a safe distance from the conductors at all times. Overhead conductors can carry high voltages, and contact with these conductors can be fatal. Follow all applicable safety regulations and guidelines when working near overhead conductors. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical safety, consult with a qualified electrical engineer or other expert. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. The information provided here is intended for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or other expert before performing any electrical work. In addition to the code requirements, there are also accepted industry practices that can help ensure electrical safety. These practices include using proper personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, and following safe work procedures. It is also important to regularly inspect electrical equipment and systems for any signs of damage or wear. By following these practices, you can help minimize the risk of electrical hazards and protect yourself and others. When dealing with emergency situations, it is also important to have a plan in place. This plan should include procedures for disconnecting power, evacuating the building, and contacting emergency services. Regularly practice the plan to ensure that everyone knows what to do in the event of an emergency. Remember that electrical safety is an ongoing process. It is important to stay up to date on the latest codes, standards, and best practices. By continuing to learn and improve your knowledge of electrical safety, you can help create a safer environment for yourself and others. Furthermore, in these scenarios, detailed record keeping is beneficial. Document the date, time, and specific conditions that led to the disconnection. Include photographs or videos as visual evidence. Note the names and contact information of any witnesses, including the utility worker. This documentation can be valuable if there are any future questions or disputes. When interacting with the utility worker, focus on clear, concise communication. Avoid jargon or technical terms that they may not understand. Explain the situation in plain language, emphasizing the safety risks involved. Be prepared to answer their questions calmly and professionally. If the utility worker remains unconvinced, politely request that they contact their supervisor for further guidance. In some cases, it may be helpful to involve a neutral third party, such as the local electrical inspector, to mediate the situation. The inspector can assess the situation and provide an objective opinion on whether the disconnection was justified. It's also important to be aware of your company's internal policies and procedures regarding emergency disconnections. Make sure that you are following these policies and that you have the necessary authorization to disconnect power. Before reconnecting the power, ensure that the hazardous condition has been fully resolved. Conduct a thorough inspection of the electrical system to identify any other potential problems. If necessary, make repairs or replacements to ensure that the system is safe and reliable. Document all of the repairs and replacements that were made. After reconnecting the power, monitor the electrical system closely for any signs of problems. If you notice any unusual behavior, such as flickering lights or hot outlets, disconnect the power immediately and investigate further. Remember that electrical safety is a continuous process. Regularly inspect and maintain electrical systems to prevent future emergencies. Provide ongoing training to employees on electrical safety procedures. By taking these steps, you can create a safer environment for everyone. In addition to the technical aspects of emergency disconnections, it's also important to consider the human element. Emergency situations can be stressful and emotional, both for you and for the occupants of the building. Remain calm and professional, even when dealing with difficult people. Empathize with the occupants' concerns and reassure them that you are taking all necessary steps to ensure their safety. Communicate clearly and honestly with everyone involved. Keep them informed of the situation and what you are doing to resolve it. By handling emergency situations with compassion and professionalism, you can build trust and maintain positive relationships with your clients. Finally, remember that you are not alone. There are many resources available to support you in emergency situations. Contact your local electrical inspector, code enforcement officer, or professional association for assistance. Don't hesitate to ask for help when you need it. By working together, we can create a safer electrical environment for everyone. The National Electrical Code is not law unless adopted by a local jurisdiction. However, it is widely recognized as the standard for safe electrical installations. Many insurance companies also require compliance with the NEC as a condition of coverage. It is important to be familiar with the NEC and to follow its requirements in all electrical work. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay up to date on the latest changes. The National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, publishes the NEC. The NFPA also offers training and certification programs for electricians and other electrical professionals. Consider obtaining NFPA certification to demonstrate your knowledge and expertise. In addition to the NEC, there are also other codes and standards that may apply to electrical work, such as the International Building Code and the International Residential Code. Be sure to check with your local jurisdiction to determine which codes and standards are applicable in your area. Electrical work can be dangerous, so it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Always wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves, safety glasses, and hearing protection. Follow safe work practices, such as de-energizing circuits before working on them and using proper lockout/tagout procedures. If you are not sure how to perform a task safely, ask for help from a qualified electrician or other expert. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By working together, we can create a safer environment for ourselves, our families, and our communities. As a final point, documentation is crucial. Every step taken, every observation made, and every conversation held should be meticulously recorded. This includes photographs or videos of the smoking riser and conductors, the names and contact information of all parties involved, and a detailed description of the actions taken and the rationale behind them. This documentation can serve as a valuable defense in the event of any legal challenges or disputes. In conclusion, as a licensed electrical contractor, you have a responsibility to protect life and property. In emergency situations, this may require disconnecting power to prevent a fire or other hazard. While utility companies have an interest in maintaining their power supply, the safety of the public must always be the priority. By understanding your rights and responsibilities, communicating effectively, and documenting your actions, you can confidently handle emergency situations and ensure the safety of your community.